This is Curtis coming at you from Aceberhead Studios once again, covering Week 7 in the NFL 2021 season. Going to get back to my Dolphins and get really serious. I really like to take an even keel approach. And I'm going to try to do my best to avoid being hyperbolic. But over the next couple of days, the Miami Dolphins, the owner, Stephen Ross, will have the soul of the franchise at its crossroads. And I mean this, obviously not literally, but I mean this in the sense of the very nature and fabric of the franchise itself. So I'm going to dig into it. I appreciate the patience, but I'm going to give a little preface. I got Suit Hustle coming, been working on that really hard. It's just a bigger project than I thought, and I added more stuff to it, and I took it to another level. Because it's the German over-engineering on my part. It's coming. The very next thing after this is going to be that. I'm going to do nothing else after this podcast but get that done. And I know I do the same thing. I check out podcasts, and I go forward and stuff like that. I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible and be on point because I really want the viewers to catch this whole thing because I believe it's that important. Okay, so I appreciate if you could stick with me through this. I'm going to go and be as direct as possible and stick to my notes. I'll be looking at my notes more. All right, so Houston Chronicle, John McClain's reported that Ross has agreed to a trade and the framework for a deal is in place. Now, McClain's been working there 45 years, old school guy. He's in-house with the Texans. So he could be being fed stuff for an agenda. But if we're looking for veracity, there's a very good chance that he's telling the truth. Now, CBS headquarters have said this is not true, but they're not as directly related to the area and the team. So I'm kind of swayed that there is some very serious legitimacy to this. And it brings me to my point. All right, so the crossroads, if you look at the word, the denotation of it simply means an intersecting point. Denotation means what it literally means. Okay? Now, the connotation of crossroads, when you say, I'm at a crossroads in my life or this or that, the denotation of that means you're a very critical juncture. But another aspect of this, the denotation of crossroads, is a deal with the devil. And that stems from Robert Johnson, went down to the cross, the whole thing. I like the blues. Everyone knows that song now. But this is a take on an old German tale by Goethe called Faust, a Faustian deal, where this guy Faust, he's like an alchemist, scientist type guy. He sells his soul, his moral fiber for earthly success, and then he has deep regret over the deal. And so this is all intertwined into what I'm going to talk about. I'm obviously not talking about the literal soul. I'm talking more on a psychological, an ethical, vision-wise, character. So this has nothing to do with what Watson maybe did or who Tua is supposed to be or none of that stuff. Not in the forefront. This deal that's being made, whether they take Watson, they make the trade for Watson, they don't, deals with process, nature, core values as the leaders of this franchise and the very fabric of the franchise itself. So, character is critical in life. In football, it's even more critical because there's such violence. There's such need for deep, profound commitment. And it's all moving so fast. Character gets exposed very quickly. In real life, you meet somebody, it could take 3-4 years before you figure out who they are. In football, everything's on, the pressure. You find out who somebody is very quick. So character is critical. Don Shula and Joe Robbie, the Robbie family, together created the fabric of this franchise. Perfect season, Iron Jaw, the whole thing. Now, Don Shula quit because when Huizenga came in, he wanted, after a failed season, big purchase and free agency, the big Shula free agency that was supposed to do so much, he wanted him to get rid of the defensive coordinator, Tom Olivedati, who was terrible. Shula should have got rid of him. But Shula's ethical approach was, his core values were loyalty and management. The suits do not affect football decisions. And so Don Shula left the game he loved. All he knew, the franchise that he had built up, that he had deep passion for, he gave it all up when he could have simply said, sure, I'll get rid of Tom. What do you want me to do? You want me to wear a hat? What do you want me to do? I'll dance, I'll throw pies in my face, whatever you want. Let me keep my job. He didn't. Now, Shula wasn't a perfect man. The Robbies weren't perfect people. I really didn't have much distaste for Huizenga either. But Shula's character, he should have got rid of Olivedati. But the character that refused to let him get rid of Olivedati was the same character that after the Super Bowl loss had the perfect season and carried them through when all the talent left the league from the Dolphins, Zonka, Mercury Mars, among others, the kick, I think, too. And he had to go through that dark winter of the late 70s. And then he came back to the Super Bowl against the Redskins. And then he found Dan Marino, and he found success through that. That character, the consistency of that character allowed him over time to have the success and reclaim it to a certain degree. Character is critical. There's people who, I don't like Tua, get rid of Tua, we got to get Watson. Okay. Let's really dig into that more deeply. If we bring Watson back, 100% Chris Grier returns. How do you like those apples? I mean, I don't care what quarterback you have in this hand. If you got Chris Grier over here, you will never find success. For many reasons. I could go on for an hour video of it, but I'm not going to. Watson means the return of Grier for 1, 2, 3, who knows how long. Also means he likely might lose Flores. Some people say, I don't care. Okay. Who's coming in next? Who will want to come in next? That means you have to get rid of Tua. You say, okay. Well, there's a lot of money tied there, and there's a huge draft pick attached to that as well. However you slice it, whether you like Tua, you don't like Tua, you like Flores, you don't like Flores, you want Watson, you don't want Watson, however you slice it, this is a desperate move. An utter move of desperation because the install, the core beliefs, the process has failed fundamentally, and management, the suits, maybe Flores too, I disagree, but maybe, believe that they have to do something so dramatic that they're willing to sell their future, their soul, in order to try to make good before they all get canned or disaster. The true depth of their screw-ups becomes revealed. Is it about an old owner who wants to see something before he dies? Hey, maybe we won't win a Super Bowl here, but Watson can get me into a couple playoffs. I'd be really excited. I can make money. I could see something to be part of that. Is he here to save the GM? Oh, I like the GM so much. Yeah, we'll get this guy in here. This will make you look good. Maybe something will happen. I don't know. Ticket sales, publicity, I don't know, Hollywood approach. Whatever it is, when you dig into this move, it's not a good football decision. It's not based on good football IQ or wisdom. Okay, why? Why isn't that? First, let's break into it. Now I'm going to hit. Rams traded for Stafford. They gave up a lot of picks. Okay? I think it was like 2 picks, 2 firsts, and a couple of things. Watson has all his issues around him. And he's probably a better player than Stafford. But the Rams have a team. They're ready to go. The only thing that was holding them back, they went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago, was the quarterback. This is not where we are right now with the Dolphins. This team is Swiss cheese at every single level. Staff, each individual players group, management, everything. Quarterback will not fix this situation. Like I said, maybe, if you were just a quarterback away. We were so close and we needed just a quarterback. Despite my reluctancy, I could kind of see it. At this point, it makes no sense. This is like the Sue trade, Sue deal in free agency. Just like a desperate move, big splash move with really no substance or success attached to it. Logistics. You're going to take on a $40 million contract for him next year. 2 is going to be $17 million in dead space because you're going to have to move on from him. You have $70 million this year and $129 next year available. So the money's there. But you're going to be carrying lots of dead space with the loss of Tua. And you're not going to have draft picks, so you're going to have to start building more to free agency. So it's going to affect your cap more. This team is going to be much like Watson's team over the last couple of years. Watson had A.J. Watt, Hopkins, bunch of good players on the team. Went to the first round, made to the division round, and lost because his team was thin and it didn't have a good offensive line. Does that sound like anybody's team you know? 5th overall pick will be wasted. No one's giving you anything for Tua that's worth anything. They're going to have him sit in the background? Maybe, but can you afford it? You're going to have to give, according to the McLean's article, at least 3 firsts. At least 3 firsts. Plus maybe more. So the San Francisco pick, the double picks you got in 2023, next year and the year after that, gone. What now? What are you going to do now? You go look at all the Dolphins picks. They had massive amount of picks, more picks than I ever thought possible. And they couldn't draft well. They got a team that's incomplete. This team should have been set forever. Now you take away the picks, and now you raise the draft status through Watson, and you keep Greer for 2 more years? What are you going to do? You think you're going to build a team? This is what this is going to be. Is going to give you a dopamine fix. You'll win a couple of games, maybe make the playoffs, and be out. There'll be nothing. As I said, no real success because there's no real substance. So you're talking 3 picks for Watson. 2 was thrown out the door. You probably missed on Jackson. You missed on Noah. 6 picks gone. First-round picks. And then you're going to have Greer running the show. Every desperate move. I would go over, I want to go over every desperate move we've made since the 95 Shula free agency move. None of them ever panned out. Because there's no character. There's no wisdom in them. You never get anything from desperation. You never get anything from desperation. U2 once said, desperation's a dangerous trap. It'll get you every time. Don Shula had Dan Marino and not the right team around him. Never won a Super Bowl. Made it to one. But that team was pretty good. Just missed a running back. Really run game. But he also made a Super Bowl with Don Strock and Woodley because he had a good team around him. It's not all about the quarterback. It's about the team. And the team builder and his scouts underneath him are poor. And then you're going to compromise your core beliefs. What are the core beliefs? We're going to build through the draft. We're going to build smart, good people of character. All that's compromised. That's part of the deal. Now, we don't know if this is true or not. Ross is the last person at the door to stop this. He could be a hero or villain. He could be the hero the Dolphins franchise needs by saying, no, man, no. Greer, I'm going to let you go. He's a builder. You don't go to a building that's got a rotted out foundation and just start adding some nice shades unless you really don't care about the building. Now, Ross tried to do the right thing. He gutted all the way down, but he forgot the foundation, which was Greer and his scouts. Now, it's an 81-year-old man. I don't expect it to be easy. But if you love this franchise like he says he does, there's no way he can make this trade. There's no way. Either we're going to find out Ross is who we thought he was and he's going to make the deal, or we're going to find out he is who we didn't think he was and not make the deal and fire Greer and have the character, the fortitude to make the right decision even though it's not easy. Watson does nothing but set this franchise back for at least half a decade. And, that's a long time. It's a long, long time. I'm gonna wax poetic here quick. Song from a guy like Nick Cave. Don't like all his stuff, but I like some of his stuff, some of his latest stuff, newer stuff, I meant. There's a song, Bright Horses. And everyone is hidden and everyone is cruel. There's no shortage of tyrants and there's no shortage of fools. And the little white shape dancing at the end of the hall is just a wish that time can't dissolve at all. We want to see success. I think most of us, even more than success, want to have a franchise that's respectful, that has respect, that has character and class, because that's the only way to get the championship. There's people here from 66. There's people here from 5 years ago. They're tired of this. They're tired of the way this franchise is being run by the suits, by people who are incompetent. Ross is the last man with the hand on the lever to send this franchise to hell or to give it a chance. I hope he's the hero. Anyway, this is Curtis. Thank you for staying to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Comments mean the most. I really love this franchise. My youth, playing the game, growing up with my family, watching this game. There's so much tied into this franchise and game. It means it's a game, but it means so much. I don't want to see this franchise be a mockery anymore. But it's going to take a man in charge to stand up. We can't change as Fin fans, but we're in a land of mass media. Scream out, scream out. Maybe I'll make a change. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being poetic. Anyway, subscriptions and like help us with our Google overlords. It helps us stay in business. That matters a lot to me. I really enjoy this now. I want to give a shout out to Ace Per Head, our sponsors, our best online sports book out there. Without them, none of this would happen. They are actually run by people of character. I talk to them. And I don't say that at all. I wouldn't even have anything to do with them if they weren't real men of character. I say that seriously. I just, low character is terrible. They're a great organization. They're a great company. You could see all the likes that people, anybody use their software, they have like one of the highest like customer reviews in the business, or the highest, I believe, for a reason. So without them, none of this would happen. And you people, I hear comments from different fan bases, and mostly it's just, even if it's a disagreement, it's mostly normal, nice, good people. We Fin fans deserve a franchise that's worthy of the past and worthy of us. Let's hope somehow we get there. This is Curtis saying thank you for staying to the end. Catch you next time, and be well.